Hello, everyone. It's good talking to you again. Um, have an inspection tomorrow, and they'll be following up with me in about a week after that. Um, so, uh, doing okay. Kind of stressed out, kind of really stressed out, and um, hanging in there, and doing my best to get this get this place decluttered. It's a lot of decluttering is necessary, and yeah, just decluttering a little bit at a time. Um, I would like to make some statements um, as far as race goes. For example, race. There's really no excuse to be prejudiced on the basis of race. There really is no excuse. It's 2021, and you think that people would be better in the year 2021, but they don't seem to be. Human nature hasn't changed. There is no excuse for prejudice on the basis of race. Any kind of race, any race. I know that a lot of white folks are feeling insecure right now, and that they feel that that they're being discriminated against on the basis of race. That because they're white, that they face discrimination on the basis of race, and that the people who are trying to make reparations are going too far, that they're actually hurting or injuring white people right now to get even with white people for the sins of their fathers, the sins of the past, and that they're teaching kids in school, pointing fingers and saying you're white, and when they're just brand new children and don't know anything about race. Never had anyone call attention to their skin color before. But it is true that children do notice race, but we have to approach it without being vindictive toward white people and white people's children. We shouldn't be vindictive toward white people's children. Just want to make the statement that Goddess loves all of her children, all of them, no exceptions. She loves them all. Goddess bless black people. Goddess bless Mexican people. Goddess bless Asian people. Goddess bless South American and Central American people. Goddess bless the Australians and Aboriginal people. Goddess bless the Native Americans, and Goddess bless Aborigines. Goddess bless the people of India. Goddess bless all of them. Goddess bless the Afghanis and the Pakistanis. Goddess bless them. Goddess bless them all. And even China, Goddess bless China, the people of China. They've been led astray by their leaders, but they're not completely to blame. Maybe partially to blame for supporting their leaders, but they're not completely to blame. So Goddess bless Chinese people as well. And Goddess bless all of the people. Goddess bless all the people, no matter what their race. And There's no excuse for prejudice. Anywhere it may occur, there's no excuse for prejudice, and there's no excuse for vicious stereotyping, because vicious stereotyping goes too far. And interesting thing, I was in a cab the other day with a first generation African American. He was not didn't share the history of slavery here in America. He came from Africa. So he's an African from Africa. He's an African American from Africa, first generation. And while I was in my cab with him, he mentioned African Americans, and I was surprised. I was like, "What? African Americans? Why are you mentioning African Americans? Aren't you an African American?" But I didn't say that. I played along with his game, and he was saying that he thought African Americans were more likely to commit crime and that he was afraid of gang members. And I told him that he really didn't need to be afraid of gang members. Gang members sell drugs. Yes, they do. And yes, they can be violent, but as far as a cabbie, they would leave a cabbie alone. I don't think that they would attack a cabbie. And found it so unusual that he was denigrating African Americans when he is an African American, but he's not. There's a difference. There's a difference between the people who are directly from Africa and the people who have been here for many generations and suffered the history of slavery. There's a difference. They're two different peoples. And the reason they're two different peoples, even though they come from one place, is because they have a different history. They have a different history and they have a different background. And apparently it's possible for prejudice to rear its ugly head, and on both sides. And so told him that yes, there are thugs out there who will rob a cabbie, but they're very few. There's very few of them. It's not very common. And they're few and far between. So he's pretty safe. He's pretty safe. It's not very likely that he's going to be a subject of a armed robbery or a scam. But it could happen. Could happen to anyone, but it's not going to happen to him necessarily. So, stereotyping is never a positive thing. Smearing a whole race isn't a positive thing. Should be kind and caring toward all races, African Americans included. And hope that you didn't take any of my comments in the past out of context, because I really wasn't recommending prejudice. I was just voicing the concerns that certain white people have, and white people feeling like they're under attack, feeling like they're being painted into a corner, feel like they're being cornered, like a trapped like a rat, but not ignoble like a rat, but trapped like a rat in a corner, and all it can do is hiss and try to fight back, because that's all it's got left is its teeth. Yeah, not comparing white people to animals. Just an analogy for You do understand analogy, right? An analogy is not meant to be taken literally. It's just, this is like this situation, but that doesn't mean it's exactly the same as that situation, or like you're calling somebody a rat. Okay? Backed into a corner, and all it can do is fight. All it can do is hiss and fight. Fight or flight, the reflex that is in all animals, including humans, to protect, and to protect and to survive a difficult situation. We all have it. We all have the scientists. So scientists tell us we have a basal ganglia, and it's in the base of our brain. That's why it's called basal ganglia. And fight or flight comes from that part of the brain. It's survival reflex that kicks in and causes a rush of adrenaline, and then if you keep repeating this stressful action, the adrenaline just piles up and up and up, and then you become resistant to the adrenaline, and it doesn't give you as much of a kick, so your body has to release more adrenaline. It's very stressful. Eventually you can have adrenal fatigue, and even your adrenals can wear out and stop producing adrenaline, and then you're tired all of the time. So stress is never a good thing for anybody. It's never a good thing. And these social scientists who are trying to manipulate us with their social science, social scientists trying to manipulate us, trying to experiment on us, keeping us in a constant state of stress, because the way that they get paid is to put stress on us. The way they get paid is to put stress on white people. They feel that white people need stress. Oh, no, we don't. No. We've got way, 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 way too much stress in the modern world. Whatever stress the social scientists want to give us on a basis of our skin color is uncalled for. So just saying it right there, that the social scientists putting stress on us, we could do without your line of work. We can do without, it's like kill all the lawyers, right? No. And social scientists, we can do without your profession. Find a new profession to go into, because stressing out white people is not good karma for you. It's not good karma for you. It's bad juju. Because it's wrong to stress anyone out on the basis of their race or their skin color. So maybe put aside your differences with white folk if you're a social scientist. And most of them are white. Like 99% of them are white. These social scientists. They have all sorts of plans for us. Lay aside your communism and your revenges. Your revenges. Your plot for revenge against white people, 100% uh, adverse to the white race. It's okay to be white. It's okay. It's okay. Um, Lay aside your prejudices and and your desire for revenge, for some sort of racial revenge, multi-generational racial revenge. Um, White people do not need to be enslaved so that they can feel what it was like to be a slave. They don't need. We can do without that. There was a African American man on a bus once, and he was wearing a turban, and he was telling me that he wanted to enslave the white women. He saw I was a white woman. He said he wanted to enslave white women and make them his love slaves. He wanted a love slave. He wanted me to agree with him. He wanted me to agree that that would be good karma, that would be the just desserts for me, because black women were enslaved and they were raped by their male white slave owners. So now white females need to be raped by a black male slave owner. So I didn't agree with him. I didn't agree with him because we need to lay aside the past. We have to put it behind us. We have to put it behind us. It's essential. It's essential that we lay the past to rest. And it's essential that for us to even get along as a people. We are a people, but apparently we're divided in two. And a lot of the supporters of the Democratic Party don't realize. They don't realize at this point, they don't know that everything that their parents worked for, everything that their parents dreamed of for them, is going to go right down the drain by supporting the Democratic Party. It's going to go right down the drain. Everything that their parents and their forefathers hoped for and wanted for them is going to the pits. Because we need to get revenge, right? We have to get revenge. I don't like Biden bankrupting America, but there's nothing we can do about it at this point. So, it's another tax and spend liberal. That's part of the revenge. It's part of the revenge. It's not the whole revenge, but it's part of the revenge. What they're doing in education, where they're foisting a liberal perspective and a liberal political viewpoint on our children in schools, brainwashing them in our schools, and it's all over the whole nation. They've taken over the education system and made it their own. Well, what they're teaching white people to take one step back because they're white, have white skin, and then the children of color take one step forward, and then if you're male, you take one step backward. If you're female, you take a step forward. So the white males wind up in the back of the room, and the black females are in the front of the room, and the white females and black males are stuck somewhere in the middle of the room. That's not helping anyone. That isn't helping anyone. No, that's not. It's not helping. And treating each other differently and treating certain kids like they're special they're going to have privilege um, complex, privilege complex where they developing a complex where they feel like they were mistreated and it's time for revenge. Um, not a positive outcome for our children. Hurts African American women just as much as it hurts a white male, and you have no idea what it does to white females and black males being stuck in the middle, because the middle is the worst place to be. Because if you're way in the back, you can claim you have a disadvantage, and if you're way in the front, you can claim you have an advantage, but that you were disadvantaged before. But if you're in the middle, nobody cares. Nobody sees you. Nobody sees you when you're in the middle. Nobody cares you exist. And that's what's happened to white women and black men. Really, white women and black men should form camaraderie with each other. We should be comrades because we get the you know what end of the stick. Yeah, we get royally screwed over, and it's not pleasant. And so I just want to say for Goddess to bless all of the people of the earth. And I feel so much love in my heart for everyone. I feel so much love in my heart. And I don't know how to express it, but I just want to show that love to everyone, to show equal respect to everyone, and think of ways to show my love without hurting anyone, without disrespecting anyone's national origin or injure their patriotic feelings, or without promoting feelings of guilt or any recriminations for the past. If recriminations do come for the past, if white people are enslaved, it'll be the end of America for sure. We won't have an America anymore. It'll still be called America, but won't be the same. Because not to deny anything that the white people did, but white culture has been the backbone of America. White culture has been the backbone of America. Capitalism has been the backbone of America. If you break America's back, if you smack America's back over with a wooden plank, if you break America's back, you're going to have a country that's broken, that will never function well ever again, because the culture of America will die, and with it will die ideas of freedom, liberty, of justice. Everything will die with it. All the good things about white culture will die with it. And it's never perfect. It's not perfect. It's never perfect. And we wouldn't even try to claim that it's perfect. But it's pretty good. And I don't really want to see it taken away. I don't want to see America come to an end. I don't want to see it taken away. Yeah, we can have reparations without recriminations, without reparations without recriminations, and without bankrupting America, and without killing the American dream. Because the American dream is the hope of the whole world. People want to come here to share the American dream. And it's people of color, too. People of color are coming to share the American dream. American dream that was thought up by white guys. And so if you break America's back, what kind of America is there left for people of color to come to? It'll be gone. The America as we know it will be gone. It'll just become another China. Become another China. And there's some people who are high in the sky, pie in the sky, idealists who think that China's just great and we want to be like China. We want to be more like China, and we want to kill the American dream so that we can be more like China, and that communism is fair and communism is all good. They're very mistaken. But what can we do? What can we say about it? Just want to take a moment to say a prayer for Gabby Petito and for her loss. Yes, she was a white woman, but no, she didn't deserve to die. Say a prayer for Gabby Petito. Dear Goddess, please bless Gabby Petito. And dear Goddess, please take Gabby Petito to yourself and comfort her. Comfort her and show her your love and your goodness. Show her your best face. Show her a love and devotion. And show her what it means to live with your goodness and in your presence. Let it be so. So, Gabby Petito, we love you, and we're always thinking of you, and we want you to be happy where you're at now. We want you to be happy where you're at. We don't want you hurting or sad or scared anymore. We want you to be free. Free spirit, dancing out there in the universe. Full of love, full of comforting, and far, far away from Brian Laundrie. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf signing off. All of you take care, and remember that there's really no place for hate. There's really no place for hate, and there's no place for discrimination here in America. There's no place for discrimination. Really, you should definitely pursue the interest of racial studies and studying about race and studying about the ramifications of race in America. But you should not allow yourself to be suckered in by recriminations and getting even with anyone for their skin color, because that's just making the same mistake all over again. And I'll see you next time.